So I've got permission to film you, yeah?
From my personal belief about religion, I personally don't believe that there is God.
You don't believe God exists? You don't acknowledge that God exists?
I don't believe that God exists. I believe that God was an answer that people in an earlier age, when they didn't have a scientific understanding of where we are in the universe and who we are as people and organisms and all the rest of it, I believe that God was an answer that they came up with, and I think that was a comfort to them. Fair enough. I think that it's had, through the ages, I think that it's had a lot of very positive effects in terms of moralism and how people act towards each other, and I think it's had a very positive effect. However, I think that we are now at a stage where we understand that the Earth wasn't created 4,000 years ago, and that, man didn't suddenly just appear, and there were animals and all the rest of it. It's not true. And I think that now, where we are as a society, religion holds us back, personally. I think that the laws that people came to see where we are as a society, the laws and the rules and all the rest of it that people came up with 2,000 years ago holds us back. And I think they're used far too often for the wrong reason. And I think that it would be better if we did away with it. I understand why people want to cling to it. It's very frightening to think that, after we die, nothing happens, and that's it and all the rest of it. But it doesn't necessarily have to be frightening, and that's the way things are. That's my personal view on religion.
Could I ask you this question?
Yeah.
Could you be wrong about everything you claim to know?
I could be, absolutely. I could be entirely wrong. I could be completely wrong, and I don't know. And the problem with religion is, and this could be Christianity or Islam or Hinduism or Buddhism and all the rest of it, is the fact that when people are very certain or think that they're very certain about answers, it's dangerous. If I said to you, this is definitely what happens when we die, and this is definitely what's going to happen, it's definitely what's going to happen to this person over here, and all the rest of it, it's dangerous. I don't know. I might be wrong. I could be completely wrong.
So, if you say that you could be, what's your name, mate? Dominic, my name's Michael. If you say that you could be wrong about everything you claim to know, doesn't it follow that you don't know anything? Because you could be wrong.
I don't think it follows that I don't know anything. Only insofar it follows that I don't know anything or anyone else doesn't know anything. Now, whether they be a Christian or a Muslim or a Hindu or a Buddhist or a Jew.
So would you say there is no absolute truth?
Yes.
And
I don't say that.
Is that true?
I don't say that that's true. I don't say it, at the moment where we are. We don't understand if there's an absolute truth. We can't know if there's an absolute truth or not, and we have to accept that. And it's dangerous when people don't accept that.
Is it absolutely true that there's no absolute truth?
No, it's not.
Because that's a self-refuting statement.
No. It's not. I'm not saying it's absolutely true that there's no absolute truth. I'm saying at the moment, I cannot tell you for certain, one way or the other, if there is an absolute truth on it.
Are you certain about that?
No, I'm not.
So, could you, you said you could be wrong about everything you claim to know.
Absolutely.
So when you say that other people could be wrong as well, how do you know that, if you could be wrong?
If I accept that I am liable to be wrong about everything that I know, then it goes the same for everyone else.
Because when you say that you could be wrong, you give up about everything you claim to know, you actually give up knowledge.
No, I don't give up knowledge. I give up. That's not true.
Well, you are, because you could be wrong.
I don't give up knowledge. I have the knowledge that I have, which is based on science and all the rest of it. But it accepts the possibility that I'm wrong. That's what I'm saying.
So, do we only know things through the five senses?
We know things through learning.
How do you know? What I'm trying to say is, how do you know what you know? Through your senses, your memory, and your reasoning?
And people's understanding, people's general understanding. We've tested things. This is hot. This is cold.
Through your senses.
not just my senses, through knowledge that we've built up as a people over time.
But you gave up knowledge when you said you could be wrong.
No, I didn't give up knowledge. What I said was my understanding of that knowledge could conceivably be imperfect.
So let me ask you this: what is truth according to your worldview?
Truth. What is truth according to my worldview?
Not something that is true. What is truth?
What's provable?
The concept of truth.
What's provable?
And how do you prove it? Through your five senses, through your senses, through your memory and reasoning?
Yeah, exactly. Through testing.
Let me ask you this, sir: how do you know that your senses and your memory and your reasoning are valid?
It's a fair question. It's a fair question. I suppose you have to just trust them. But to be fair, in the same way that people 2,000 years ago, when they were meeting Jesus, and meeting Moses, and Abraham, and Isaac, and all the rest of it, trusted their senses then, it's no more or less true than what they saw.
So do you test your senses by using your senses?
I test my senses insofar.
How do you test your senses?
I try to acquire knowledge.
How do you acquire knowledge? Through your senses?
Through learning.
How do you learn? Through your senses?
Yeah, exactly.
Through memory?
You're not
reasoning?
learn any other way.
So do you reason that your reasoning is valid? Do you sense that your senses are valid? Because that's a vicious circle. See, this is the problem with atheism. And how do you get truth from evolution, my friend?
You would go insane if you didn't trust your senses.